All right, this is the self-promotion panel. And I am going to moderate this and run it much the way I did before. I'm going to read off the questions. We may not get to all of these. I should have mentioned that last time. I always prepare extra just in case, because it's always better to keep we don't want dead space. So I'll read off the questions, and we'll go down the panelists, and each will talk about it. I'll probably have more to say on this one than I did on the last one. And just a request to the panelists: let's keep our answers not short, to the point.
To the point.
To the point. That way, that's a nicer way of saying short, perhaps. I have trouble with brevity.
I'd like to thank the Academy and my agent.
All right, self-promotion. The first question I'm going to ask the panelists is it worth it? This is going to be the opportunity cost of self-promotion type of discussion. Secondly, we will talk about author tours and appearances, how you can use them to your benefit, what can go wrong with them, what is useful for newer writers in regards to these, how they work, that sort of thing. Number 3 will be mailings, bookmarks, and trinkets. Whether they're useful, how to use them well, how to not use them well, your experiences with them. Number 4 will be unique and or other methods of self-promotion. This is kind of the catch-all so that you have an area to talk about anything you really want to talk about with self-promotion. And then number 5, if we get to it, are just ways that you as the unpublished authors can approach looking at this and thinking about it. I actually wrote a list of suggestions and things not to do to promote yourself as a new writer that isn't published yet. So I've just things not to do. Things not to do and things that might work, just some suggestions on how to promote yourself. And it has really to do a little bit with the last panel, but also with this one. So,
Sir, I have something to say before that's not on this list.
Okay. All right, we will let Rebecca start, and then I will ask the first question. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, we'll do that.
One of the important things to being an author and to promoting your work as an author is to build yourself what they call a platform in advertising. If you're already in another area of work and you have a whole list of names of people who are fans of your work as a plastic surgeon or an actor or a web artist or whatever else you do, keep a list of that names. Those are people you can use to contact to let them know when a book comes out. You can also make friends with other people who have platforms who might have like 10,000 people on their email list, and you have a couple hundred people on your email list, and maybe you promote something of theirs to yours, and they'll swap and promote something of yours to their platform. That does not cost money. You can reach a lot of people without paying money out of pocket. So everywhere you go, collect names of people who are interested in you or interested in the type of work you do.
Here's some proof of concept on that. Baen just recently published a book called Monster Hunter International by a friend of mine. And he belonged to a very active gun nut, as he describes it, self-described conservative gun nut community that had a mailing list and a forum and all these things and had been doing it for years, had a reputation there as being someone who knew what he was talking about, and he published essentially a let's kill monsters for gun nuts urban fantasy, urban science fiction story, which is essentially a bunch of gun nuts blowing away monsters. It's a really awesome book, and he actually then published it with Baen and did this, promoted it on this listserv, and it sold through the roof because of this. Mm-hmm. And that's actually the perfect, you can't get a perfect match between Baen, gun nuts, and this guy. It's just amazing. All right, first question is going to be then opportunity cost. Is it worth it to do a lot of self-promotion in these ways, and how can you make it more worth it? And we will actually, why don't we start with...
Let's not lump all ways together.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of methods of self-promotion.
Well,
we'll go on.
Yeah, we'll start with Dave and then just work our way down.
Yeah. Okay, I think that there's a couple of ways that you can go, actually. One method is for you to have a publisher who promotes your work rather than you as an author. And if you've got a publisher who says, we'll pay you $500,000 for this book and we're going to run a big $400,000 promotional platform for it, go for it, okay? Let them do all the legwork. Now, in reality, that will practically never happen, okay? In which case, it becomes incumbent upon you as the author to take charge of your career and do something for your own self-promotion. And I don't really, how should I say this? I don't really care what that is. It could be anything that you do, but it should be half a dozen things that you do. And that might be, for example, creating really good press releases and taking a picture of yourself that has really cool eye candy with it. You know, so for example, if you're writing a Star Wars novel, you know, if I had thought about it, I would have dressed up as Princess Leia, you know, and done the courtship of Princess Leia and sent that out with a photograph. I think that would have worked nicely. You know, it would have, editors would look at it and say, ha, gotta look at this ugly guy, you know. It would probably would have worked really nicely. But you do something.